Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hanging with the Hooligans. My name is Doug.
I'm Alex.
I'm Chuck. He's Chuck.
And it's a pretty nice day today. Nice, cool 35. Is it 35?
It's a warm.
It's a warm 35.
It's a warm day.
My heating hasn't come on, I think, once today, so that's cool.
Oh, dude. I bet.
Saving on that gas.
And everyone was like, "Oh man, it's cold out." It was like -10, and I was like, "It's still not as bad as the -20 we kept dealing with,
right?
On and off." So,
well, the last week we were around. It was in the -30s. I think we hit -40.
Well, the crazy thing is, I think last week was the worst week we've ever had.
Yeah.
No, I think there was one a couple weeks ago. I think the start of it or whatever. Yeah. Where it was like everyone's pipes were failing. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's
and
true.
It was I think it was definitely -40 with wind chill, -20 organically, and I was just like, oh god.
Yeah, I always just say the wind chill number. Otherwise, it doesn't
there's
do
no
it
point.
Justice.
I say the wind chill number so people think I'm cooler.
Well, no, it's to be like, all right, hey, people that don't live in Minnesota, wow.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just feels like a mint outside.
Dude.
It feels like a mint.
Yeah. I was actually working one of those days, and one of the things at night is to take out the outside trash cans.
Yep.
It was -25. I don't think even then. I think it was like a -30 day with a wind chill of -50. National Weather Warning was like, hey, even 5 minutes of exposure could cause frostbite. So,
guess what, Doug? I walked in that.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I worked outside in that. Dude, even, it was so bullshit. One of my coworkers was like, it's cold. It's too cold to do propane, right? And, asked one of the assistant managers, and they're like, yeah. I probably want to do it. And then, someone comes in for propane, she's like, hey, yeah, he could do it. And I was like, you just said that we're not going to be doing it. What the fuck?
Dude. It was so cold one night that I was riding my bike home, right? Because I usually, it's faster, obviously. But when I leave, my bike hasn't had a chance to, freeze over yet. So I can move quick. But the other night, it was so fucking cold. My bike would only go about 10 feet, and then it would come to a stop.
Jeez.
And in that time, I would be out of fucking breath. It is that cold out here, people. And it's not like that constantly. This is probably the worst year we've had in a few, but wow.
Well, see, I think this year we just didn't have as much snow, just cold. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Last year was fucking just blizzard after blizzard after blizzard. Or was that the year before?
No, that was when you first moved out here.
Yeah, that was just blizzard after blizzard,
we had the one winter, that was last winter, where it was weirdly no snow.
Yeah.
And it was barely cold for one part of it. And I was like, oh god. And that's the thing that makes you think about climate change. Yep. Fuck. And that was half of this winter too.
Well, especially if you look at it when we first got here, man, our first year here was probably our worst. It was cold. It was constantly dumping snow. And then now it's we have
there wasn't the most snow that year though, but it was the worst years for
-70 with wind chill.
Yeah, it was
shit.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then I walked in that.
Dude, it was gnarly.
But I didn't walk all the way because, of course, someone was like, "Get the fuck in my car!" But yeah, that kind of wind chill, it's it's crazy because it goes through your layers, it breaks.
Oh yeah, nah. You can only bundle up so much, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, technically you keep bundling up, but yeah, it's just I think once you get past -10. That's where it will just start breaking. It will break through at least say your regular pants, regular shirts. That's
it'll
your
even
jacket
go through your long johns too.
Yeah, your jacket will protect you. If you're wearing a mask and gloves, that will help with your hands and stuff. You need really good socks, but the rest of it is your regular clothes. Yeah, you're just gonna feel it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Chuck is he's probably the toughest of us, I think, when it comes to the cold. He'll come out here in shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
just a shirt.
he's sitting here right now with shorts on. No,
No,
Well, I
actually,
mean,
whoa.
granted, it's a warmer day. But
Yeah.
I've been
sometimes
wearing them because people keep bitching at me at work because I was wearing shorts like
Well,
for like half the winter.
you being cold makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I leave my jacket there in case it's like the negative 20 or whatever, and that's when I'll throw it on.
Yeah.
But on a day like that, well, especially on a day like this, but no, even when it's like 0 to negative 10 or whatever, I'll just go out there, no jacket, go through it.
Jeez.
Well, especially after dealing with negative 20 and plus, you go back to the 0 to negative 10 and it doesn't feel the same. It's like, yeah, this is nothing.
True. That's why we're actually here sitting in 35 going like, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Whereas opposed to 35 over in Washington and California, they're just like, oh, it's cold today. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's this time of year, or like getting used to like temperatures like this, always makes me worry for when summer comes. Because
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
despite what you would think where we'd have cool summers, nope, it could get pretty hot.
Yeah. I
And
don't want to go to
humid.
war with the sun again.
The humidity is also what makes it worse. But like, yeah, luckily it doesn't always break like 90, 100. But the fact that like it can is just such bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, dude, we get all that cold for what?
Yeah, right?
Well, it's like, oh, we had all that snow. That means water. Oh, the sun's out now. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then it rains like a motherfucker in this state too.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, at least in my book, that's pretty cool.
Dude, I'll take
Yeah.
a storm. I'll take a storm over a winter storm any day.
I mean, yeah, I love seeing the lightning and shit, dude. That's
Oh, it's
awesome.
beautiful.
I think three winters ago, the one when you first moved out here was the year I finally was fucking over snow. Because just the pure amount of snow, the pure amount of times we got stuck, like, in Jay's car, like,
Oof.
dealing with the plow, especially like here at the trailer and stuff. Like, yeah, so many things were just so annoying versus like, now a lot more manageable, at where I live.
Yeah.
At least, or maybe it's just because I also get to it like early enough. Like if it snows, I'll get it while it's powder. I won't let the fucking
Let it solidify like I have all the way down my driveway.
Yeah. I had a number for you, by the way, for a guy if you ever wanted to get your stuff plowed.
Oh,
But
okay.
then when I went to deliver your table to you or whatever, I was like, oh, it's actually not that bad. But it was like $20. It was like $20. This guy was just asking, oh, if you need your driveway plowed, I'll do it. And I was like, I don't live here, dude. I was like, but I think, there's someone who might. Because I was thinking of that winter, though. It really fucking sucked
Yeah.
with all the snow and stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, I kind of feel like with lot rent, you should at least have, like, somebody plowing and mowing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
at the
Yeah.
minimum, because I don't...
Not with the lot rent at your price, though.
Well, yeah, true. But no, I'm hearing prices around here that are like $650 for lot rent, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they better maintain.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
mean-
are they like doing your plumbing too? Like,
Yeah, sorry. Wait, we gotta let everyone know. This is Midwest. Yes, we know $650 is amazing rent price.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like, Doug has it even better.
I'm not even gonna say it here because
Yeah. But just so we don't sound like out of touch peasants from the Middle Ages.
Oh,
that
yeah.
are like, our Lord makes us pay 2 turnips and a chicken each summer.
shit, I'd rather play 2 turnips and a fucking chicken at this point in time. It'd probably be cheaper.
Oh yeah, well that was the point. Yeah, complaining about.
But the
$6.50.
price of eggs!
That's
Yeah.
why you get the chicken.
We're taxing your eggs. Oh, sorry, not tax, tariff. We're
Tariffing your eggs.
tariffing.
We need. We still need those. I did that stickers.
Oh yeah, that would be great to have actually right now. Oh, and then
The pure delusion right now is just insane, though.
I was just gonna say, we're gonna get into it.
Some people just. Well, it's just. I just the amount of people.
One of the craziest like coping sayings I've heard thus far is like, like gas prices go up in the winter.
Yeah, and they do. But
They do, but like I'm just sitting here going like, but it did the same thing last year, and you guys fucking bitched and moaned about it the entire fucking last 4 years.
that's the annoying thing is like, a literal global incident happened, which made gas go up, and somehow it was Biden's fault. And it's like, it is not Biden's fault that Putin invaded Ukraine
Or that
oil execs decided to take advantage of it by hoarding on oil purchases.
No, Chuck. Biden's a pussy. That's why they did it. Yeah, it's because Biden, just one person. He did it.
Also, like, it was crazy how when that happened, there were so many people that were like, "Oh my gosh, Ukraine support! Thoughts and prayers for Ukraine." And now you're gonna slowly start to see that change, like people's opinions change.
Yeah,
because,
there's going to be.
Dude, they already have. It's already.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, because Trump has got beef with Zelensky now.
And that's all I got to say about his fucking bullshit. Fucking.
Let us have it, Doug.
Fucking.
Let us have it. Viral moment.
No, there's only like. There's only like
fucking
degrees.
acquiring Greenland. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You mean red, white, and blue land?
Red, white, yeah, and then this Gulf of America fucking bullshit. Where's my fucking cheap gas, Trump? Where's my eggs, Trump?
I mean,
There are no longer eggs because there are no longer farmers.
And then they go and
Sorry.
fucking
Sheep
blame
Sheep
it
farmers.
again on like fucking Biden and going, oh, he killed all the chickens. That was the last thing he did before he left office was he killed the fucking chickens. No, he fucking didn't. He was dealing with a fucking bird flu, unlike the last fucking president who couldn't deal with a fucking real pandemic. Holy shit. Can we get Obama back?
Look me in my eyes. You look me in my eyes, Doug.
I mean, he would have at least paid attention to the pandemic.
You're probably gonna have to bleep out that
I'll
last part right there.
Oh, where you outed yourself as a fucking commie? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chuck. You've been trying to say something.
Sorry.
Oh no, I've just been very quietly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So he's peeing at the table right now.
yeah,
Like I said, nuts out, man.
yeah.
There's not even steam. It's just a regular temperature piss.
Yep,
now.
exactly.
There's a scary amount of froth in my piss,
It's kind of green too.
as usual.
It
So
smells like fruit roll-ups.
I guess. I mean, we're only 1 month into the burger reich, and it's been.
Oh God! Don't
a lot.
remind me.
it's,
Oh fuck!
it's been quite a time.
I want to get off this roller coaster anytime.
Well, you
They
know
can
what you
press
do on
the
a roller
emergency
coaster?
button at any time now, please.
You got to put your hand in the air. I mean, hands in the air if you're on a roller coaster. Hand.
Oh! Holy shit! Oh! That's a
missed
whole
lot of
other
news.
fucking can of worms we can
Yeah.
open up right there, but I don't want to.
Yeah, we've missed a lot of news since we've been gone.
Yeah. I don't even care to catch up on it. All of this, it's like so much of it. It's like everywhere you look, it's been talked about. It's like there are some like very relevant things. Also the news is full of irrelevant stuff, like he was saying. Distracting you with bullshit.
Fake
like,
news.
Or like the stupid Gulf of America bullshit. Who cares?
Yeah! Nobody gives a fuck about the Gulf of America.
The thing that here's a hot take.
The only people that give a fuck about it are the oil people in there that are drilling it and then spilling it all the fuck over the place. Like Sweet Mary and Joseph.
Or-
No,
There's
that
a
just
lot
means
of
the
other
Gulf-
issues in the Gulf of Mexico than there is
Gulf of America.
renaming it the Gulf of America.
Well,
the-
that's because it's America. There's supposed to be oil in that
The-
Gulf.
Oh, is that why it's called
That's what
the
makes
Gulf
it
of America?
American.
Now it's
Yeah.
because there's oil. Oh, watch! Now we're gonna call it Iraqica because it's got fucking oil in it. Because we're gonna go back over there and
That's
finish.
Afghanistan.
Both of them. Come on,
We
are
went
you
to
kidding?
Iraq for.
You think we're just gonna stay in Iraq? We're gonna reverse fucking the war on terrorism on this shit.
No,
we're gonna start in Iraq and then go to Afghanistan.
Doug, we already have military bases there.
I know.
Well, not
Holy
anymore.
shit!
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Remember, 2019, Donald Trump released, forget his name, the guy who's currently the leader of Al Qaeda, who attacked Joe Biden when we were leaving Afghanistan.
Yep.
So we don't have bases there anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
And remember, of course, people wanted to blame that on Biden because, people only look at aesthetics. Like, well, I guess I'll just go. I'll rewind this. I have a hot take, and the hot take is we would be in a lot better position right now had Biden never won at all, and Donald Trump had won again in 2024, or not 2024, 2020. And here's why. Because Elon Musk wouldn't have bought Twitter yet. RFK would have still been in like relative obscurity, except for like some of the worst fucking charlatan grifters. Like he wouldn't have had like the Roganites ears, and the Roganites would have still been like fairly annoying, but not as radicalized to like conservative things as they are right now.
Right.
You know, because they had a whole era and arc where, you know, they were looking for the new Trump before Trump came back in 2023, you know? And so looking at it right now, it's like they've had time, especially, you know, a lot of conservative pundit guys, the people that are, you know, all over this new regime, the cabinet and all that crap, have had time to like devise some of the worst and most heinous just fucking plans, you know. And also Elon Musk has been radicalized by Twitter, which he bought, and then, you know, scared out all the normal people, and now there's just freakish incel Nazis there.
Yep.
And that has made him a much worse person than he already was.
Yep.
And
this is the MK9 fucking timeline is what this is. He
Yeah,
had
well,
to win.
yeah, it's a really bad timeline. But it's like
Shao Kahn had to win.
But also, I think 8 years of Trump would have radicalized a lot more people to be more progressive than having the performative presidency, the administration of Biden, who did so much fucking jerking off and trying to reach across the fence to the you know, Republicans. Oh, we'll finish the wall. Oh, don't worry, we're not actually gonna, you know, forgive any student debt. You know, like, don't worry, we want to play nice with you guys. And even fucking Kamala Harris, who everyone's like, oh, you know, it's because she's a woman. No, it's because she said that we're going to have the greatest military in the world, and she's going to put fucking Dick Cheney's wife in the fucking cabinet, that a bunch of people that are not right-wingers are going, fuck you, I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote if you're going to suck just as bad as Trump. You know, if you're not going to deliver on, like, helping Palestine, which is probably one of the greatest, like, progressive issues that people are looking at right now, as there is, you know, another genocide happening, because, like, you know, people were fucking pissed about Yemen years ago, and that, of course, didn't get the same news coverage, though.
Yep.
Because Israel didn't have this whole 9/11 moment like they did on October 7th. So, looking at all this stuff that's happened, perfectly positioned this, like, true red wave, as they call it. And not the red wave that, like, you know, everyone would actually be scared of, where it's like, oh, socialism, ooh. But, like, a red wave as in all these freaking conservative, and not even, conservative is, like, actually too kind of a word for some of these, like, ultra-fascist people. Because, like, look at the fact, like, you know, no one's talking about it. I've seen people bring up, some dumbasses bring it up like it's a good thing. The fact that there was that executive order about the two genders thing. And a lot of people made the jokes because it was like conceived at birth or whatever. That's not what the fucking fine print says. Now, trans people are, you know, their old gender. You know, it says it on their passport. It says it on it's supposed to say it on their IDs. And that's something that just invalidates a whole, well, 7% of people. Very small minority, but a whole minority whole minority class has been invalidated.
Yep.
And it's, you know,
And it's just the start.
that's a real situation. But even that is just, when you look at the dumb fucks that support Trump and these kind of people, it's still just aesthetics. Because how does that make your life any better?
You right?
Because you're not, like, that's not making anything cheaper. It's not
I
making
don't
your
have
life-
to hear about it.
like, yeah,
They're not shoving it down my throat.
Oh, yeah, it's like you don't think they're going to fucking, react, like, it's like you're just going to radicalize a lot of trans people now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the people are going to, get crazier. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, we were talking about this before we were recording, but, like, there were full-blown swastika wielding Nazis in Ohio walking around very
fucking-
brazenly. And how did people react to that?
I don't believe you. Racism doesn't exist in America.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
we got
believe
rid of racism when civil rights passed, don't you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Luther King ended it when he and before he died very peacefully at a young age.
That's just it, though. That's American history right there.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Like, holy shit.
Hey, let's
Like,
not look at the 5 days before the Civil Rights Act was signed. Let's not think about what happened in those 5 days
no.
before.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's.
But that's just the thing where we're at with everything right now. It's very stupid, like the aesthetics of what these assholes are looking at. And then you have the other side of things where annoying liberals are going like, well, if only you guys had just voted, and, oh, it's sexism. It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's so far
No,
beyond that.
it's when she brought Dick Cheney up on the fucking stage.
It's
when she tried to reach over the aisle.
Yeah, it's the fact these fucking stupid career politicians are trying to play fair game with people who are constantly fucking everyone every chance they get.
Yes.
It's like, we need to play dirty. And that's why, I wish James was here to give his 2 cents on this too, of course,
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out to
No,
our
he's yeah.
But, like, it's one of those things where people talk about eating the rich or whatever, and people always talk about defeating, the Republicans or defeating the fascists in power. But it's like, first hurdle, if anyone that, like, any progressives or people that declare themselves left-wingers, I'm not going to subscribe to labels like that myself.
Me either.
But I'm definitely not fucking, like, a right-winger or I'm not pro-fascist.
Yeah, like, if there's one thing I can say is that I am not conservative, and I'm not, like, I know what I'm not.
Yeah, I don't, like...
I'm paying attention. That's all it
Yeah,
should be.
that's
these, like, all these labels that people put on themselves, but so many people put on
Sports
this
teams, my guy.
Well, so many people put on the they'll say they're leftists or left wingers and stuff, and it's like, but the main thing they're subscribing for is like aesthetic identity politics, which is just like dog treats for conservatives to piss off the normal people with. And it's like, how about we, of course, we do protect people, we do have the identity politics, but don't make that the forefront of your whole movement. Don't make that the forefront of any, like, campaign, because we're trying to convince the majority of people to, just make everything better. And it's like, that's why, we need to do things that make the middle class better, the lower class better.
Yep.
Because that will help these minority groups just in tandem. Yeah, we also do need to have these, like, identity classes protected with, like, specific laws. Do that later. Solidify power first. That's what they're doing every time. They solidify power first, and they'll give you the dog. They give them the dog treats. We need to do that the other way, where you give everyone else the dog treats of being like, yeah, we're gonna, make life cheaper, more affordable, and.
But if we do that,
yeah, we're gonna.
Where's my fucking money?
Yeah, well, it's like we're gonna create more jobs. No, and it's funny because if you were gonna say you're gonna give people money, or something stupid like that, people would be like, well, that's socialism.
No, I mean, but if we help
Not
out,
if it comes
if we
from
help out
Doge.
the poor,
Right.
if we help out the poor. Where's my money?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't have to be, because if you look at what Doug just mentioned, the whole thing with Doge, and it's like all the agencies that they're fucking over are ones that are almost specifically designed just to help people.
Yeah.
Like if their job is to like delegate resources to like, marginalized people and people in need. Those are the ones getting audited randomly, and it's like, huh?
Yep, and then on top of that too, like I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently going around is like Doge is going to be paying the citizens back, and there's back and forths on Twitter about like oh yeah, everybody's going to get like a $5,000 check this year, or some like
people
somebody
that pay taxes.
saying like you're only going to get $11 back, sort of bullshit or something. People are actually thinking they're going to get paid money.
My brother, people had to be out of work during a pandemic, and they cried about not even $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
and they're like, they're going to give us $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah.
And everybody bitched about it, man. And I'm just sitting there like, you know what, Len? I'm going to take it. It was good money.
You want to know what my conservative boss said? What, you guys didn't save your money?
Right? How? How, sir? Please, tell me how.
You don't pay me what I'm worth. How am I supposed to save money?
Yeah.
And that was a dangerous-ass job.
Well,
yep.
I did technically invest that money when I finally got it. It was months after everyone else, but even thinking about UBI or anything like that, the money's not coming. That $5,000 isn't coming.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
We're so far off from any progress of like being able to like implement any like universal basic income. It's like there's a whole war of just the baby steps is just like creating a class consciousness, but it's just the most bare bones thing of like, yeah, if you work, you should get paid like a fair wage, kind of thing, or
I'm not just asking for money for free. I'm willing to work for the money, but pay me what I'm worth.
Yeah.
Because so many people are advocating against themselves as they simp for these fucking billionaires and corporations.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so step one.
But Elon Musk cares about me.
Yeah. Oh.
He doesn't even care about his kids.
Papa Elon.
Yeah, he's so brilliant, Yeah. Gosh. It's
fucking...
yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised he doesn't like have a different kid each time he goes on television. You know what I mean? Like he has that many kids.
Gosh.
Like he could have a different child every day of the week for 2 weeks.
Shit that kid says too.
Yeah, no.
Did he tell the
raising
president
fucking
to fuck
little
himself?
shits. Holy
he
crap.
said,
shut your fucking mouth.
No, he's like, you're not the president. You need to leave. Shut your mouth. Like, it's one of those things where clearly he's hearing like the like up his own ass things that Elon Musk says, and then he regurgitates it. Because on the Tucker Carlson show too, he said something about like, before space tax, blah blah blah. Then we silently do whatever we want. Like,
yep.
Basically, almost demonstrating like the whole. I guess the whole point of Elon even inserting himself into politics, not just here but in Germany too, which is ironically also in a very alt-right pipeline right now, and everyone's like, wow, you guys, it's not even a century, dude, and you guys are already almost there.
Well, they're trying to protect their score.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
Yeah, Elon's inserted himself into both those things.
Man, that didn't feel good to say.
And it's like, the crazy thing is like it's not even like. Well, we've talked about this in a different episode too about like the weird balance of anti-Semitism right now, where it's like, it's not even like Jews are being targeted at a mass thing, because it's like they have their own ethnic state where they're the fucking problem, in Israel. So it's like, all right, it's just like three, almost like what do you call it? Like raising the bar, like this alligator's eating the next alligator or something like. Definitely a weird food chain happening right now.
We're all playing Snake right now.
Yeah.
Well, from my understanding too, is that there's a real issue with Germany because not only does their right wing seem to be gaining power, but I also hear there is a very big counter to it going on over there. Like apparently they've had like 3 elections to try and make sure that like the numbers were right, sort of shit. I mean, I don't take my word for it because I didn't really follow that situation. I've just been kind of it's just kind of like leaked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, if
I've
you're-
seen a little bit, but I haven't gotten too deep into it.
Yeah. But I think the issue too is that they're militarizing again because America's like basically. I don't know if they are threatening or if they did basically pull out their like basically being the club of the European Union, if that makes
they're
sense.
threatened we're trying to put out a DLC.
Yeah.
Our expansion pass.
Oh, that's right. He wants to get paid for it. That's right.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're
People need to
militarizing
start-
because they're like,
Do you think maybe that's why he wants Greenland is because he's like Greenland's part of Europe. Europe will pay me with Greenland and then we'll defend Europe.
yeah, they might just be getting ready for the next Axis. They're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, this time America's going to be part of the
Yeah.
Axis powers. Yeah!
Yeah, Japan's like just waiting. They're like, come on.
Japan's like got their they're just sitting there like eyeing China's coast going like once again.
Yeah.
Pretty
And also-
soon we'll be hearing people need to get used to the fact that they won't own their own liberty.
Right?
Right.
The Ubisoft outlook.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Corporate fucking shitheads everywhere we look, and for some reason people have learned to like suck up to these people and the dumb shit they say. And
I actually just watched like a YouTube video where it basically it was like a stitched YouTube video where it's kind of like they show something, but this quote entrepreneur was showing off the drone bomb, basically the suicide drones that are being used in battlefields nowadays, and like talking about how like the used car salesman of fucking like war crimes. You know what I mean? Like
those have been around at least as long as the Venom movie has, because they had those in the Venom movie.
oh
Yeah. But they showcased some before the Venom movie too that are supposed to be really small drones that are almost like bullets.
oh no shit.
So yeah, so it's like they're like designed to like kill single targets or whatever.
Oh damn. Wait, is that real or is that like what's in the Venom movie?
No, that was a real thing.
Holy
I was
shit.
I was saying the Venom movie was showcasing the bomb drones that you're talking about, just like just around that time too, because probably they're like, oh shit, yeah, look at this.
And like here's the most fucked up thing for me is like I sit here and I go, yeah, it's a war crime to have like drones being suicide bombers, but then I'm looking at Ukraine and that's how they're defending themselves. They're the real only way that they're like defending against Russia and basically like reinforcement from North Korea is that they're using drones as like suicide bombers, just as like general bombers. Like have you seen the tank show? Like literally shells on tanks that they're making for Russian armor now.
Yeah.
Like it's. I sit here and I'm fascinated because Ukraine's fighting off a fucking world power using fucking drones, suicide drones, and then we've got used car salesmen selling them to like places like Israel and selling them to like the U.S. contractors and our
Yeah.
military.
Well, also think about the fact that a lot of their weapons that Ukraine has been using for years are like Vietnam and like Desert Storm and early war on terrorism era weapons that we've given them.
Well, like just like how we give the older generation chips to China, we give the older generation weapons to our allies. Like,
Well, yeah, it's like that's the whole people talking about billions in dollars in aid or whatever. Yeah, that's part of the assets there. It's like they're getting rid of a lot of their old shit. And then they give away some new stuff for like logistics information so they could test stuff. I mean, that's why America loves their proxy wars, because they're trying to practice for the next big thing, as we like just do whatever. It's always just invading a little country too. It's never
it's
fight.
experimentation, man. Like people don't believe in science, but science is happening all around them.
Yeah.
Just not by any experts.
Oh no! These people are experts. They're experts at creating new war crimes every day.
God.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Burger Rake or whatever. I don't know. The military is a fucking menace in every.
Like every sense of the word. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and because I'm American, man. I'm American. Love my military, but like, god damn it.
Yeah. It's more so the system. It's like, we love to see it when like the U.S. was helping defeat Germany in World War II, but like when we're getting clapped by Vietnam because we're not allowed to just burn.
Basically, we're not. Well, the reason we lost, the reason Korea was lost is because we didn't use nukes.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Basically, they keep getting into situations where they can't burn the place to the ground. So
exactly.
So therefore, they lost the war. Everyone will cope when I say that. It's like, yeah, they're like when troops are getting chased out of Vietnam, essentially, and people are like trying to jump on the helicopter or whatever. That iconic moment that people talk about. Yeah, you're losing. Same thing happened in Afghanistan. People are trying to hang on to the plane.
Yep.
We lost. Korea, I think technically we left, and then I forgot what regime took over after that. So it's like, we'll call that one. Maybe we can call that one a draw.
Well,
you didn't win.
Technically,
you didn't dominate.
Technically, that war never did end. We're just in a permanent ceasefire right now.
Yeah, it's like we left. And
like at any point in time, that's why there's a demilitarized zone in Korea. That's what separates the two Koreas is a demilitarized zone. That's why there's a border wall on both sides. That's why there's landmines on both sides.
Yeah. Well, another thing, a lot of people talk about the end of the Cold War, but that's never ended because what's really changed is just the enemies.
Yeah.
Because, despite the fact that the Soviet Union dissolved and, we have now a capitalist Russia with oligarchs and all.
Yep.
That still didn't stop the fact that, we are having a proxy war with them and China and North Korea. I think they're the only ones who are openly like, oh yeah, we definitely want to fight America, and it's like they can't. They suck. They're a little country. I'm more worried about when they finally get annexed by China.
Who? Oh,
North
Taiwan.
Korea.
Oh, North Korea.
Yeah. Well, Taiwan's gonna happen first, but China's gonna take over.
Oh
Asia,
yeah, no, China's gonna join. I mean, I don't. I guess I should make a bingo card at this point in time, but my prediction is China's just gonna go fucking nuts to the wall soon because
China.
Well, yeah, it's
because our attention's elsewhere at this point in time because fucking Trump can't keep attention like a fucking goldfish.
It's called ADHD.
Well, it's also called being a Russian puppet.
Well, there's a lot of people that they have all sorts of their things to say about about China and stuff, but it's like the game of civilization. We're not going to dominate them. We can't beat them in the economic route either. So it's just been the cultural route this whole time where we're trying to push this nationalism and not trying. It works where, so many people are like, China bad. And it's like, why? And it's like some fucking dumb bullshit. The workers, it's just so dog shit. Dude, aren't you against raising the minimum wage?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Their quality, their products are of cheap quality and shit. Don't you buy from China?
Yeah.
For your little web store?
Right.
Look at the AI they put out. It's like, oh, they're genociding people and keeping Uyghurs in re-education camps. First of all, prove that. Second of all, what about the immigrants that are still in cages right now?
Exactly. They say. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to put it past China to be doing that shit. You know what I mean?
China,
But,
I'm not pro-China, but like every chance I get the
just,
point. Yeah.
we're just pointing in a mirror at this point in time, being
Yes.
like, "Hey, you can't do that. You are."
It's Spider-Man.
It is.
Yeah.
Are we the bad guys? Are they the bad guys? Who's the good guys?
Yeah.
I have that thought every morning, and I'm just me.
There's no there's no good guy in this situation of like world politics. Politics is just like monopolizing violence.
Yep.
Because like when you lose like the political structure, that's when it gets more medieval again, where it's like, well, my lord, we have more men.
Yep.
And I mean, they even did the same thing. If you think about medieval powers and stuff like that, because they just took stronger men, or the more men, skilled men, more resources, and they're like, yeah, we're done fighting because God said I'm the king.
Yep.
And all these really strong guys,
I
they got
believe
my back.
him.
Yeah, they're like, they got my back if
If you say
happens.
otherwise, yep.
So yeah, we're not gonna have to fight anymore. You're just gonna lose. And then they even like with each other, right? They were like, they would fight. And they're like, oh yeah, but you can't kill me. You can ransom me off for money. That's what we're gonna do. Poor people though, yeah, they just get slaughtered.
What poor people?
The peasants.
There's
No, I mean, what poor people?
What poor people?
What poor people?
The pawns.
there's those people that are out there going like, oh yeah, all the media's freaking woke. Where's our history? Why isn't there like white history portrayed in blah blah blah? And I'm like,
You mean history?
there was that, but then also somebody was like, you mean the Game of Thrones? Like that's European history. That's white history right there. Like,
yeah, like I don't know
inbred
when people do that, it's just like I don't know. It's so stupid because it's like it's always there.
It's the dominant thing. I'm sorry.
Eurocentric stuff happens all the time.
You
just
still
because,
think? Sorry, go ahead. No.
Just because there's always. I mean, just because someone wants to kind of like showcase another culture doesn't mean like, oh, we have to be included too. Like,
right?
No, you
just
don't.
sit down and enjoy the fucking show.
Yeah, and it's sad because like people would turn around and say, well, don't they have that for other diversity? And it's like, yeah, because people keep making stuff about white people all the time. So like these other people would never fucking have like any diversity like inclusion there, and
then people get mad because you make one Black Panther movie.
Right.
And the fact that this stands out to you should be a learning thing for you, being like, oh, hey, why do I mean, I guess for them, they feel super uncomfortable when they see it. That's why they have to say something fucking about it. Like, like, I'm just like, is it hurting you?
They get mad that Jordan Peele will never have a white person starring in those movies. But they never said anything about Martin Scorsese or...
Right?
Well, actually, Quentin Tarantino has had a black guy star in his movie. Yeah, definitely Martin Scorsese. It's like always Italian people.
Yep.
It's like, what about, that's okay, though, because they at least look white.
Pretty much.
I mean,
now.
Yeah.
It was all media. That's why
100. Yeah,
that's why they're white now.
100 years ago they didn't count, but now, they're just white guys. Also, I did see a really random clip where it was Samuel L. Jackson, which some people will often push he's got a very it's more of like an anti-racism. Like he clearly gets annoyed when people bring up racism or that kind of context about stuff. Where of course it was just a clip, so it's a very out of context thing of him talking about Quentin Tarantino and his clearly he just always puts the N-word in his movies, and people think, well, does that make him a racist and stuff like that? And what he brought up was well, whenever he casts me in a movie, he always puts me as the smartest and like one of the most like distinguished or like proud or self-confident characters out there, and like like he always seems to see through the bullshit, and it's not like just some fool or whatever. And he's like, I don't think a racist person would do that. And it's like, I guess that's like a good point, because a lot of people tend to get lost in the sauce, especially with slurs, because obviously, like,
Oh yeah,
you
no,
know, slurs. But like the guy's often making like period pieces, and I think the guy's just very literal.
Yep.
With like making a period piece. So in all those movies he's making that are like, 70s era, 80s era stuff.
Sorry, white
You
people,
mean where-
guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going to depict it accurately, you racist motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
it when films do that, because there's just way too much of this whitewashing of shit. Like there's a reason why people still like celebrate Thanksgiving and don't don't look at Thanksgiving and go, it's another day.
Like, I'm not gonna
we're not going to celebrate anything this time around.
I'm not gonna get mad if you make a movie and have a white guy and a black guy give each other a high five in the like 50s, but at the same time, it's like that those white people were not very good.
Yeah.
It's also a thing to the point of the Thanksgiving thing. Actually, it's crazy because like Thanksgiving, the myth of it at least was that it was a celebration that was taught by Native Americans to like the new pilgrims or whatever that came to the country, and then now there's a rebranding of it to it being like the Indigenous People Day, and it's like, well, wouldn't that technically be what it is already? Because it's already a fucking indigenous practice, like cultural practice that they took from, like clearly some kind of fall feast.
Well, from my understanding, Thanksgiving is like the it's the whitewashed oversimplification of the Jamestown colonists were saved by the Native Americans.
Yeah,
because literally, like the people in that colony were just dying by the dozens because of starvation, not knowing how to fucking grow anything. Like, the people that were sent over here were not like the skilled laborers everybody likes to think like our forefathers were. Like,
no, they were literally.
we were criminals and outcasts.
They were
like,
If you had
religiously
those skills
persecuted.
then, man, it was still not a good chance for you.
one more time.
Even if you were that skilled person that came over here, you weren't.
Well,
There
yeah.
was no guarantee you were going to make it.
And here's the thing too. From my understanding too, they did land like just before winter hit, with no supplies and shit like that. Like they literally were like on the
Can you imagine
doorsteps
fucking
of
Minnesota?
Well, and then
Just saying.
and then the Native Americans were like, you know what, we can't let these people fucking die. Let's help them, feed them. That's why when you're like learning about the Thanksgiving, everybody brings up like, burying the fish with the corn so that way it grows and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's just like, yeah, because they were teaching them how to like fucking live in a place that they had no fucking idea, like.
And how did we?
And how do we thank them? We put up walls, we built forts, and then we fucking ran them down with guns when we got them. Like,
Again, I hate when people do this, because we always look at things with such a modern lens, of the spoiler alert. We know what happens in the future, but it's not the same fucking people that did that, though.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, that's
That's after like decades and like perhaps even. No, definitely less than a century. That's after decades of people continuing to migrate that they like slowly are like, no, this is our land, because more people are migrating and they're sedentary versus Native Americans always being like nomadic and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when sedentary people are putting up walls and building homes and forts and stuff like that, and that's such a culture shock thing for like Native Americans, they're like, hey. We used to put up camps here in these plains. Now you have this little fucking village here. What's going on?
Animals used to graze here, motherfucker.
Yeah, like the pressure definitely builds from that, because it's like their way of life was being affected by the way of life of Europeans coming over and like already doing what they do. But yeah, I hate the narrative that they act like it was the same people just turning around and went like, oh, fuck you, and just shoot him. It's like, well, no, it didn't happen like that. Just like. The whole thing of like Christians.
It was a "What have you done for me lately?"
Or it's just more so like they're trying to impose the law on the land, and these other people are like, "What are you talking about? We're not."
What law of the land? Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking
We
about?
told you where would be good spots, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, and there.
that doesn't mean it's yours.
yeah. Basically, one day they try to fish in the river, and some guy's like, "You can't poach here." It's
Right.
which it wasn't even like that because
You can't fish here. I live 300 miles that way.
Yeah, because it wasn't even like it wasn't even quite like that yet. But it's more so like when you start to see stuff come up, there's like you're losing room, and how many tribes were used to just going in these areas, and now there's whole cities,
Yep.
as small as they were back then, but still whole cities that are obviously affecting the ecosystem that they were used to and stuff too,
Yep.
But
And they weren't being greeted very well.
No.
Well, yeah, and of course there's going to be there's more territorial people, basically because they start to bring laws into it,
Yep.
where Native Americans start to become renegades for not following the laws that are imposed. But then again, that still took a lot longer because there were plenty of Native Americans that did just kind of exist within the laws and frameworks too, by like trading furs and stuff. Because plenty of people before America really got along there was like a lot of French people
Yep.
getting along with them and trading and stuff. Still also colonizing slowly, but pressures took probably less than a century to actually devolve into not a genocide, but like at least like actual clashing with people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It did take probably a century to 2 centuries for full-blown genocide to happen, So that's not like, I get it that like people think, because they think of like indigenous people that they remember, they've been genocided, and like this whole country is the result of that, but I just hate how there's always like that lack of context of like, well, it didn't happen right away. It happened after years and years of people just not pretty much trying to impose their ways on each other without any communication or compromise.
Yep.
So, I was also going to say, though, because I have to say this every time, about Christians and pagans, the same thing. Did not happen right away of, like, colonial, because that's also the colonial era, when, like, Christians were full on, like, colonizing. Because the pagans they're talking about are also the Native Americans.
Yep.
People act like fucking, the Vikings were getting killed by Crusaders or something. And it's like, no, they didn't have any fucking power back then. Like, the whole founding of England's story is a story about, weak Anglo-Saxons defeating the odds of the Danes invading and stuff, and like taking over like many kingdoms in England before like England became a thing. So, I just hate that, like, the misconstrued like histories there. And that boils back into complaining about everything going on, because we're not going to learn that history anymore. It's going to be more cookie cutter bullshit.
Oh God, yeah, we're gonna have more.
We came here, and the Indians were like, "Hey," and we
It's
were
go-
like,
yeah.
"Hey,"
They welcomed
and
us
we
with
hugged
open
each other,
arms, and
Yeah,
we're not gonna take a look at how like we kind of fucked them over, and then there were people that took advantage of
We
that.
bought land from them. They didn't understand what that meant.
Yep.
So we put them in a nice like bear hug around their necks.
and then
we put them in
we
small areas, and they were like cool with it,
and we were so kind that we let them have this land over here, and then we took
We
it
gave
back
them all
later.
kinds of blankets all the time.
And when people look at the map, they're like, "Oh yeah, Louisiana and Mexico." No one ever talks about the Mexico part. It's like Mexico is literally like half the fucking country, and I think like all the way up to Canada.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
And it's like, no one ever talks about that part where, they're Native Americans too. Just
Yep.
they got colonized.
I think theirs was a mix of French and Spaniard.
Yeah, Spaniards. But, that was, a lot different time than the Thanksgiving era. That was like, well, that's actually a fun thing that I was waiting to bring this up to Alex, because Alex likes to. Okay, so we do the Ren Fair thing. I guess we'll just say that. And Alex likes to say, so Ren Fair is the medieval era, and Alex likes to say he's a Spanish person.
Oh no, that's not anymore. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
No,
well,
now he
his
likes to be
character-
called Aryan.
Well, his character was a Spaniard. Fun fact: Spain didn't exist during the medieval era.
Oh yeah, no. It was Hysteria, I think.
No, there was four kingdoms that ended up eventually making up what is modern day Spain. But those were the Christian kingdoms. Before that, there was Andalusia, where when the Muslims took over the Iberian Peninsula.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that's ultimately where a lot of the zestiness of Spanish culture even comes from. Is all Muslims being like, yo. By the way, talking about the whole thing about colonization and stuff, Muslims didn't do the whole, hey, this is our culture, you have to do our culture, fuck you. They actually did do the compromise thing where Christians and Muslims were worshiping together in mosques and like temples and stuff. And they had Spain was one of the centers of what do you call it? The golden era or the golden age of like Islam for quite a while before the Reconquista, which is something that's happened like the late Middle Ages and basically marks the end of the marks the end of the official Middle Ages in 1492 with the founding of Spain.
Huh.
And that's
cool.
Yeah.
Spain ended the Middle Ages. Hey, thanks, Spain.
Yeah. At least in that context, because the other context, people will say the Middle Ages ended in 1453 when the Ottoman Empire took over Constantinople and Istanbul.
Oh.
But, on the other end of that, that's ignoring the other end where the Reconquista was still going on, and they took Spain and founded Spain from that point. And I think that's like the combination of Castile and Navarra, I think. And they conquered Granada, I forget what it was called. But it was the last Muslim state essentially in Spain. And so all those years we were a Spaniard. It's like, yeah, that is a colonial character. And that perfectly encapsulated too, because if anyone really led the colonial era, it is Spaniards. Like, those guys were the first ones over to the Americas being like, yo, God stuff.
Sorry.
Well, but then again, it's a lot. I think a lot of people would also argue, this is a good way to transition to the next topics too, that strangely, Spain gets.
But you know what? At least when we fucking came to America, we were like, hey, we like you guys. We're not going to kill any of you.
Yeah. I think that is sadly where the whole the violent colonization thing started.
Oh, yep.
Not exactly started. It's basically the Inquisition era during the medieval ages was the start of it. And then, the missions that the famous missions all over the West
God.
Coast.
Dude, another thing that's just
We got
super
some really cool
whitewashed too.
buildings.
But it's okay, because you guys paved the way. Because eventually when my people got clapped by America, it was the same thing, though, where they're like, we got to make the Hawaiians Christian. No more speaking their language. They're going to speak our language.
Yep.
That's kind of... that's the theory of what happened with a lot of Aztec language and a lot of Mayan language. Well, at least the theory, we don't know. Some people claim, because there's still people in Mexico that claim actual Aztec or Mayan ancestry and have a language, and I've heard it. I was like, that's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But it's such a small thing that it's hard to really know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about empires earlier.
Yeah.
And we didn't get too much into the English Empire stuff. We were mainly going with
because the English Empire
superheroes.
stuff is more or less probably what we know the most of outside of just American history.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, a lot of us focus on the colonies, the white colonies, America, Australia. No one really talks about India.
No.
I know it's a lot of people always skip out on India, and it's like, Yeah, no, that's a really bad one, actually. And, like, that's part of what made... And obviously they had their hands in Africa. Not as much as, like,
Well,
France.
it's part of world history. We should be learning that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff that we're not having as much of. And also, it's always sugar-coated and cookie-cutter kind of shit.
Yep.
And that was, like, stuff that our history teacher, Mr. Tobias, told us, like, keep learning it, because, like, even what I'm teaching you isn't the full thing.
Shout out Mr. Tobias.
Yeah, shout out Mr. Tobias. Crazy that one of the teacher's aides from our school told me that he would be ashamed because I said that the conservative statues should be taken down. And I was like, yo, you know those were put up in the 1960s, right? Like, I kept learning history. Guess what I learned?
Yeah, no, that's the thing that pisses me off the most about our education system is that it's just how much sugarcoating there was.
Yeah, and it's like, well, if you don't take any actual, like, desire to learn more, and, you know, especially something like history, where
Yep.
there's so many different avenues you can go, because you can keep learning about American history. You're never going to hear that shit about, you know, Spain and, like, the Muslim thing I told you about.
Well,
But-
the funny thing is that side, they like to say the whole, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I learned well, I'm not going to say I'm the most learned on the subject, but at the same time, I learned a little bit, at least enough to be like, you guys see what you're doing?
Like
Yeah,
I was yelling when I was
Yeah, it's like you guys are repeating the very basic stuff we learned in high school right
Yep.
now, dumbass.
Yeah, the
Like-
things that you guys talked about the most.
I mean, up to the point where there was a I forgot, a Times Square rally of American Nazis, like in the 1930s or something like that, and like we're doing that literally again, like a Trump
Jeez.
rally in Square,
Yeah.
or in Times Square or Madison Garden, whatever, and it like people are just sitting there, just kind of like. I get it. It's 2016 stuff all over again, because when you know, people first conflated Trump with like Hitler and, you know, Nazis, it was outlandish. It was like, what are you talking about? He's just, you know, because his points back then were like, immigrants are, you know, illegal immigrants are bad. They're bringing in blah blah blah. We just simply, and like most people would be like, well, yeah, he's just trying to enforce the law. You know?
Yep.
And a lot of that conflation is just stuff that normies don't understand what a Nazi is or what a fascist is, or the fact that like there are legitimate Nazis that have since those days, like almost a decade ago now, revealed themselves as full-blown fucking Nazis and still
Yep.
support this guy and like that side and stuff. It's like, yeah, we were all proven wrong. And like, you know, some of the craziest blue hairs that we made fun of were like they were proven right, but it also was a self-fulfilling prophecy where I think some of these people were alienated, and of course, I was alienated back then. They told me I had male privilege and all that. I didn't go, okay, I guess I'm a Nazi now, but a bunch of fucking weird incel dudes did, you know? Like,
And
Ah,
now we got people running around with their swastika flags.
Ugh.
yeah.
But you know what? They're just proud of their history.
They're
Right.
proud of their heritage.
Exactly.
They're just fans of their own empire.
Oh, God bless America.
Actually, that
Holy
is
shit.
a thing happening too, is where people conflate the Roman Empire with Nazism somehow. Like, because the Roman
Well, yeah,
Empire,
don't you know what Elon did was just the
the
Roman salute.
Yeah, a lot of people, because I mean, the Roman Empire was very xenophobic in the way like they treated terrorism.
Well, yeah. What do you
We
think
don't lack
barbarians
terrorism.
Yeah,
were? What do you think barbarians were?
right. The way they treated everyone else, which is, you know, yeah, just calling them barbarians and stuff because their language was even, you know, the same thing. It just sounded like a bunch of bar to them, you know. Ironically, though, those were the actual Germans, you know, what I'm talking about. But like, a lot of people are kind of like doing this thing where historical reenactment or being a big fan of history is blending with these like fascist people, and it's a very telltale sign if you see someone super into the Roman Empire now, that they might be a little bit of a Nazi. And it's like really sad because we're all fans of history here, as we were just having that side tangent earlier.
Yeah.
But like now here we go. It's like, how much longer before it becomes? Well, actually, it already does. Like if you're gonna be a guy who likes fucking Crusader era like knights and stuff like that, that's already being conflated with Christian fascists.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So like.
Well, because here's also the thing. Like when people usually point towards like the Roman Empire equivalent to like Nazism, the Nazis pulled iconography from like the Roman Empire, like the eagle. You know, the eagle that everybody people pull from history to establish themselves and try and make something of themselves. And unfortunately, we are in the age where there's Christian nationalists, and they're sitting here going like, how do we brand ourselves? The Crusaders, because they were holy knights, you know?
I do have a little autistic moment for you though. The eagle was pulled from the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, that's right, because there's two
which
of them.
was pulled from the Roman Empire, but like that is literally Germany. That's the First Reich. They had that eagle, but it's funny because you're also right. Like the Byzantine Empire had the eagle as well.
Yeah,
where they had like the double eagle or whatever. So yeah, but
we
I was
have
like,
two.
But it's like funny. It's like the Germans did do that back then, and it's very strange because it's very strange when you look at it though because a lot of these people that are such fans of the Roman Empire will say, well, the Holy Roman Empire wasn't Holy Roman or an empire. And it's like, yeah, but it's weird because you're also a Nazi, so you should like that one.
Right?
That's the First Reich.
You should know your own history, sir.
Yeah. It's like you're sucking Mussolini's like genitals there by liking the Romans so much, only for them to turn out to become fascists. Meanwhile, I'm still laughing because we were talking about before the podcast all the greatest empire, because often people will say it's Rome, but I always like to get in everyone's face about Genghis Khan. as Doug called him a villain earlier, or mentioned him alongside villains, I was like, no, Genghis Khan is based. And the only reason I would say that is because he was just so. Because it was like I said, it wasn't him being like, I'm gonna genocide a race. It was just pure scoreboard.
Yeah,
like
there was no bias towards any one people.
Yeah, they were just slaughtering. Yeah, I won, slaughtering you guys. Like,
for glory, motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like when you think about all the people that the Mongol Empire beefed with, it was like China, the Middle East, Europe. It's like the whole world fucking got their cheeks clapped by this empire.
Yep.
Versus like, you look at the Roman Empire and they took the whole of the Mediterranean. Cool. They couldn't get Ireland.
Yep.
And I'll admit the Mongols didn't get Ireland either because they didn't go that far. But they clapped all four corners of the world as far as like
the largest
hitting,
landmass.
Hitting Asia, the Middle East, which I don't know if they got into Africa, but I know they straight up clapped Muslims, Christians, and then I think they were Taoists at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the old Chinese Empire stuff. Is like, that's crazy when you think about it.
Oh yeah.
For go ahead if you have something to say.
These legendary warriors and fucking civilizations.
Yeah.
Guys on horses like, brah!
Yeah. Literally armored soldiers with like, fully like articulated logistical like structures for war and stuff. And then they're like, look, there's a bunch of guys on horses with bows coming, and apparently that was enough. Mm-hmm. Like the fact, going back to the Christian fascist thing, like the Crusaders were like, oh man, we can't take Jerusalem. Like, we'll just have to like rape a bunch of people because we can't beat the Muslims. And it's like, Genghis Khan or the Muslim or the Mongols are just like, Yeah, your God won't let you win today because your God is the reason I'm here. Basically, to
Right?
clap you. It's insane. But of course, had we lived around, that time, we would probably see a lot of the worst context of people dying in war. But then again, we've talked about a lot of systemic genocide that were, today, where it's like, yeah, well, the Native Americans, their genocide wasn't a war, it was people,
There was a gradual decay.
yeah, there was people being fucking, the Trail of Tears and stuff, people getting moved over, and then you look at, the Holocaust. Again, it was during a war, but they weren't in a war. They were just people
exactly
put on trains and fucking going.
Mm-hmm.
The people genocided by Genghis Khan. It was a war. They literally we won. All right, take out the men because we can't have people fighting back.
Yep.
And it's all right. So that's what I mean by anybody who's gonna get mad that I called Genghis Khan based.
Jeez.
Because I don't think that about Napoleon, despite being a good military leader.
I mean, outside of him being a good military leader, from my understanding, he's a terrible person.
Yeah, he did write some fire though, when he told his bitch not to bathe or whatever when he was leaving exile or whatever. He was like, "I'll be home in 3 days. Don't bathe" or something like that. Yeah.
No shit. I'm gonna have to look that one up. That's amazing.
I think that was Napoleon.
I'm ready for the power of the clutch.
Yeah, it was like that's crazy, dude.
I mean, I guess I can't yuck his yum, but damn.
Yeah, I was like, that's the most French thing I've ever read. Oh man. Well, while we still have it, so we were talking about a while ago doing the whole I guess in theme with the whole fascist thing we're talking about. I've talked about wanting to show you guys the anthems of 3 major. When you guys think of fascist countries, the most fascist countries, what countries do you guys normally think of?
Germany, Italy.
Yeah, Alex is like,
No.
I mean, in the modern sense, yes.
I didn't say that.
If you go with okay, so we'll
I
say
didn't
right
say
now,
a word.
who has the lamest fascist anthem would probably be us, because
Oh yeah, no.
Well, I gotta say though, we also have more.
Yeah, what?
We have more versions of the same one than anywhere on this planet.
yeah, well, it's
True.
you think about it, a lot of people have recorded, versions of these anthems and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have it where it's a different singer every time.
Yep.
And then there's also the other song. I forgot what it is. We have another nationalist song that I forget about. We used to sing it when we were kids.
Star Spangled Banner?
Is that the anthem or the other one?
Dude, I'm not an American, I guess.
I guess I'm
Yeah,
not.
it's
I've also been
I forgot
smoking.
the name. Isn't the Star Spangled Banner what they sing at football games and shit?
Well, yeah, the Star Spangled Banner is what sung at the. Yeah.
No,
that's the national anthem.
Yeah. See, okay.
Yeah, there's the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
No, so which one's the Star Spangled Banner? Do you know any of the words?
Oh,
Is that the one, Purple Mountains, Majesty, or whatever?
National.
Above a
Fruited plains.
Yeah.
Is that
America.
I think so. Oh, no, that's America the Beautiful.
Star
Beautiful?
Spangled.
That's the one I was talking about.
Star Spangled Banner. Star Spangled Banner is the national anthem.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, say.
Wow, I used to fucking know that one.
By the dawn's
Yeah, that's our
early
anthem. Yeah.
light.
Lame.
Yep. What so
America the Beautiful, I think, is
proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming.
literally-
Bright
Dude,
stars.
that's basically every fucking baseball game or whatever. It's if they can't get someone really good to sing it, it's gonna be someone really bad. And it's we've definitely all been there before at some sporting event, which is so weird because other countries just have their shit recorded and they'll just play it. Anyways, let's go with the first one. We got Burger Reich. Get ready. I like how there's just a caption before so it doesn't play right away. So I'm just looking at words in German. I don't even know.
Come on.
It still works.
Are you serious?
It's
Did
giving
you
me
check the volume?
Just to make sure.
Oh, there we go.
Like, what is this? A fucking Looney Tunes?
It does kind of sound like Looney Tunes.
I prefer Rammstein.
Like, what? Like, it's like a show tune. Like,
I mean, they were dressed by Gucci, so.
I mean, they do sound like they're having a better time.
yeah, it sounds like old school show tunes to me.
Yeah.
It's not even like the part that I don't even think you get to the part that everyone like. Oh, no, I don't know where it goes. I'll have to stop it. There's a part where it says burger, right? For sure.
No shit!
Yeah.
Oh! I'm going to listen to that now because I got to hear that. That's hilarious.
That's what I'm going to say.
I was waiting for the bass to drop. I don't know about you guys.
So, like, yeah, that one. Very, very boring to me, at least. Like, oh.
Yeah.
It's better than the American one, but, like, you know, not as good as
And before anyone gets all butthurt, is the national anthem in your fucking playlist? I didn't think so.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're not trying to be anti-American because of the fucking anthem.
But you know what is in my playlist? That Russian national anthem. That shit slaps! See, that shit I will bump down the street!
I'm not even Russian, but this makes me want to put my hand over my
Yeah!
Honestly,
Shit!
I feel like we're at the end of a play.
It feels like the end of Star Wars. And we
Holy crap!
Oh my god.
Like Leia's giving us our medals right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's just like, it sounds more epic than the other two. Like, you know, the Nazi one's like a fucking show tune. That one, yeah, it just sounds like straight victory.
Yeah, we won.
But you gotta get ready for this one, though.
Oh no.
This I believe is the original CCP anthem.
No, the Chinese...
Yeah, during Mao Zedong's era.
Oh no shit!
Hold on, did it just skip the intro? Yeah, we like straight into fucking.
You've been listening to that?
No, I think it just started auto playing it.
Holy crap!
Like I could dance to this.
I was gonna say you can't see it. We are dancing.
Now, we didn't mention, but obviously, all three anthems we've played so far, millions of people have died under these regimes.
Oh my god!
Shit!
Oh my fuck!
I mean, obviously.
That is so fucked.
Yeah, the USSR, obviously, I think both under Lenin and Stalin, millions of people died. During the era of Mao, a bunch of people died. Now, there's a lot of propaganda and stuff, you know, because we learned, as you know, our history teaches us sugar-coated things. It also teaches us a lot of no-context stuff when they were like, yeah, communism bad, socialism bad. Look, millions of people died there. It's one of those things you got to wonder, though, if you guys are going to think about the millions of people that die there. How many millions of people die under capitalism every day?
Yep. Well, and then on top of that too, like, it's
not just in our country, but Africa. The
Yep.
people in the fucking mines constantly for your diamonds, for your lithium.
Ireland isn't an actually. It's like Ireland, the potato famine is like. I mean, it wasn't just the famine that like killed it all. Yeah. It was capitalism too, because basically, from my understanding, the TLDR of it is Britain went over to Ireland and was like, give us our fucking potatoes.
Yep.
We don't have the potatoes to even feed our families. We don't give a shit. Give us our fucking potatoes.
Yep. And I mean, it's crazy that I think of the many people that die because medical malpractice.
Yep.
Failure to get medical stuff.
Yep.
People dying homeless because they're homeless and stuff like that.
People dying because they couldn't go to the hospital because they couldn't afford another bill.
Yep.
People dying in war capitalism has a much higher kill. Like, we can't even really fathom the amount of people that have died under capitalism, because also, the greedy people that benefit under capitalism has kept it in power for so long.
And we've been taught to love them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just like the
and
whole
admire
thing
them and want to be like them.
Yeah. The whole thing with like communists, like the people dying are usually the people that are pro-capitalist. That we know open-faced, like bold-faced communists in America that have been assassinated. Martin Luther King Jr. So it's just the same thing on the other end, and of course they're the ones who are in systemic power. But it's funny how, the contortions of history will make things look worse. I mean, it is bad though, because of course, dying or people being killed is just bad, no matter.
Oh yeah,
who it
no
is.
matter the circumstance.
And that's the whole point of what we said earlier about politics just being the monopoly of violence, because when you have the monopoly on violence, it's okay for all these people to die. It's not a genocide. It's not murder. It's just it's just the system working. But
it's just business as usual.
Yeah, once you're able to paint things differently, or you look at it at a different scope,
once you're able to make a decision,
China and stuff. Yeah.
Once you're able to make a decision as to whether somebody lives or dies because of your non-medical opinion, just by how much money can you save from saying no?
Yeah.
Yep.
I almost made another Palestine reference, because that's a big one where they look at the amount of people that have died. Israelites that have died as Hamas hostages, but then they seem to ignore the 140,000 kids that have fucking died in Palestine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That were Palestinians, so they don't matter, I guess. So.
Yeah, this is a great timeline, y'all.
Yeah, great timeline.
But I mean, Chuck pointed out earlier, we're in the Mortal Kombat 9 universe right now. Shao Kahn should have won 4 years ago.
Wait, I was about to say, that was you that said we were in the Mortal Kombat universe.
I know, but that's, oh my god.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those things, I bet you a lot of people's heads are going to turn when they hear the whole thing that I said Trump should have just, we should have just got over it, because there's no way he would have had a third term by now, I don't think. I don't think we're going to have...
Oh, God, that would have been hilarious if you tried to. There'd be
yeah.
so many people being like,
I don't think... Yeah, it's
But will the checks and balances be there to fucking stop him?
Yeah, I was about to say, now a third term might be fucking viable, because they've taken out... They're consolidating power, because the enabling from Doge, I guess, and... Whatever
honestly, at this point in time, I think Doge is just a big distraction, because I ain't heard no Republicans coming out that they're doing anything. I ain't heard anything from Trump about what he's fucking doing.
It's just an excuse to cut funding.
Yeah.
By the way, it is funny. I don't know if it's still this way, but when the Department of Government Efficiency or Efficacy, I forgot which one it is, was first established. It's ironic, because they said their goal was to eliminate redundancies in the federal government, yet they had two heads of the department. I don't know if they still do, that Vivek Ramaswamy fucking dumb fuck. I don't know if he's still involved with it, because all I hear about is Musk. So
that's the other thing, is they said it was going to be a joint effort, and I've yet to hear or see Vivek.
Yeah, I think, I know,
and maybe it's just because nobody's reporting on him?
Yeah, well, there was a whole divorce, I mean, sadly it
who's the more exciting of the two?
Well, I mean, also, who's got less melatonin in their skin?
Who has less melatonin?
Yeah, melanin.
oh, my bad.
I mean, I do think there's melatonin in Musk's skin.
He does look very relaxed.
That fucking, lavender-colored toad.
God, man.
Oh God.
There's one illegal I'd like to export.
Is he here illegally?
I mean, does it fucking matter anymore? We
Well,
could
it's
just
one of
point at
those
somebody
things-
and say,
Yeah,
they're-
but he's white. They don't care. It
well,
didn't matter in South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, it's one of those things too.
It's
if
not
they-
like systemic racism exists.
He's
Yeah.
He's friends with the guy in charge.
Well, the guy in charge is also, I think, technically, I think he's an anchor baby. Either that or something like his parents are or something. Everyone always says Trump's also an immigrant. So it would be ironic if they do the whole undo natural born citizenship, and it's like that should technically involve you.
Disqualify you as well.
Yeah.
How funny would that be? He gets himself kicked out of office.
Yeah, he must not be like an immigrant, as far as like immigrating here as a kid, because then he couldn't be the president. But yeah, I mean, if he's like someone who was born on like a base or something like that. By the way, yeah, such a stupid thing.
He was considered an export when he was born.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to pay tariffs on him.
I feel like we already are.
Yeah.
God, yeah, no, I'm. Oof.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail that.
No, it's fine. I mean, should we wrap this up anyways?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can wrap this one
I
up.
think so. Well, yeah. So, actually, kind of coming back around to the AI point. Ah, crap. Nah, you know what? I just lost that idea. So, you know what?
no.
I think I would just. I think we're just gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging with the hooligans. My name is Doug.
I
Chuck.
have some things to talk about real quick.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Oh.
do plugs and stuff.
We gotta do plugs.
Oh, oh!
Yeah, that was
False ending.
You forgot the plugs last time too. I remembered that.
It's
Or you forgot my plug specifically. I was like, "Fuck you, Doug."
Well, you're the only one with plugs. Everyone knows you have plugs.
Well, no, I didn't plug for a really long time, which is why.
No, I know. I'm playing.
All right, so
Yeah, something.
You got the most plugs.
What? Oh, but you were gonna start originally.
Okay, so I'm actually thinking about starting a Patreon. Gonna upload little bits there, but basically, I don't want to ask too much, but just getting a little bit for things. So maybe if you want us on camera or something like that, because right now with the way of the world, and I mean, Doug's having to work 2 jobs. If you want us on camera, that's how it's gonna be. You know, if you can give us some of that money, we can put it towards that. If you feel so inclined, I'm gonna try to get you more content out there too. Probably not wording this the best, but
Hey, it's a dry run.
yeah, I've never pitched a Patreon before, so
Yeah,
Give me
I
a
mean,
shot
we'll probably plan on having more exclusive content on Patreon, of course, like
right.
especially if we have stuff. That's where we could definitely get a lot more raunchy with stuff.
Yep. Are you saying a hanging with the hooligans?
like a hang with the
Patreon?
hooligans premium Patreon? Or whatever.
Okay. All right.
Just so it's like if you do want us to have those kinds of upgrades, cameras, all that stuff, it's not cheap.
Yep.
Everyone out here, I mean, everyone knows how it is to struggle, right? So,
And also keep an eye out for the hanging with the hooligans OnlyFans.
Yes.
We'll be
Yes.
selling feet pic.
Hey, we didn't make a Quinn reference at all, or a Trains reference.
I did. I made not a Trainers one, but I did make a Quinn reference.
In this episode.
I told him to look me in the eyes, and
There we go. Quinn, we will have you on this podcast one day.
it would actually be extra special if we could have Quinn
We're gonna have Quinn
on
on
a
the
podcast
train episode
on the train
with what's her name? Fuck, forgot her name. Gypsy Rose.
with
It's
Gypsy.
Gypsy
That would be a
Rose.
hell of a fucking podcast.
She's like, you call me a what now? What do you mean Midwest hot? I'm not even from the Midwest.
I mean, I'll take it.
It's okay, Gypsy Rose. You're just hot. We'll just say that. We'll stop being mean about it. You're just hot. Anyways,
But Quinn, if you could come on, just make Doug
Make me feel super awkward the whole time.
just make him real Quintimidated. That'd be amazing.
Intimidated.
oh my gosh. All right.
All
Well,
right, we got Chuck's stuff here now. What you got,
yeah.
boy?
Well, I still didn't upload any episodes yet back to my YouTube. or put out another book. Well, technically I did. I forgot if Shattered Legacy's the new book. I haven't been promoting that at all because I've just been very tired for my full-time job.
It sucks.
Yeah, working full-time. I was like, ugh. I didn't even get a promotion, by the way.
Oh, what?
I got a promotion, but I didn't get a raise. And like, I'm hearing that I might not even get one because I already got a raise recently. And it's like, yeah, you guys gave me that raise because I was working overnights. So like, what the fuck? I'm definitely when that moment comes, if I hear I don't get a raise, I'm definitely talking shit. Like, I'm not gonna just be nice about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, so you gave me more responsibilities for no extra money? All right, cool.
I guess I better cut my hours a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like I have a sick day coming up.
Yeah. Well, they're very cool about like time off, so that is the benefit. That's why I didn't go back to DigiKey yet, because I've been working there for long enough to where I could definitely be like, DigiKey, see, I could stay at a place for 6 months. Hire me.
I'm already feeling the DigiKey time off bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard, but you just gotta hang in there.
Yep.
And it sucks because, like, I know you didn't even get the leeway of like the first couple years, like I did, where the system wasn't like the 3-day strike thing. Oh. They start getting on you.
Right.
So. Yeah. And it sucks too, because like that's the one job where if like a bunch of people are gone, you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
Your workload doesn't change. You just keep working. You know, versus like my job or his job, even the last job I had in the summer, if someone was gone, you felt it.
Yeah.
It
Oh
sucked.
my god. Every job I've had prior to this one.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we should probably cut this off.
Okay, yeah. So Chuck has links. They're going to be in the description.
Yep. Shattered Legacy, please buy it. The YouTube videos are coming. I'm going to have to do freaking AI voices, and I'm thinking of doing AI art too. It's really sad, but, you know, whatever. All right, anyways.
Yep. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to us. My name is Douglas.
I'm Alex.
I'm Chuck.
And this was Hanging with the Hooligans.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Podcast.
Choo choo.
So, yeah.
Never going to beat Genghis Khan's score.
Scoreboard.